This is the Always More podcast.
Hello, all my wonderful friends out there in the universe. It's September 20th, and welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there is always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. So, today on the pod, we're talking about, obviously, our reviews and recommendations of the week. Duh. This month's, holidays and observations, or observances, or whatever the word is. Insane water inventions. Hugh Jackman. Duh. And so much more. But first, I'm your host, Harley Bean Co. Ow! And across from me, which we are all not sitting together today, which is crazy.
I think this is the second time ever that this has happened.
Yeah. But yes, first, we have our wonderful tech guy, Timothy Lichty.
Hello.
And then we have our mushroom booty background man.
They're just mushrooms.
If you're not watching this on YouTube, you're missing out because
they're just mushrooms, guys.
Just mushrooms.
That's a very thick mushroom. I don't believe that.
Yuck.
Oh, I didn't say his name. Christopher Thomas Ford.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Chris. These are my mushrooms.
And welcome. I feel like I was going to say something else as we start. Oh, have you guys seen this TikTok trend? I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'll explain the trend. Okay?
Okay.
How
Sure.
often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Oh, dude, all the time.
Easily 2-3 times a week.
Yes, it's got to be at least.
Easily.
No. For me, look,
Genuinely.
Genuinely,
Genuinely,
even if it's just a passing thought, at least once or twice a day.
Oh, are we just including passing thoughts?
Are you serious?
Yeah,
easy.
easily once, at minimum once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll sit and think about the Roman Empire
On average.
for a good 5 minutes minimum, 2 or 3 times a week. But if we're just talking passing thoughts, that's once a day.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
Look.
They have impacted so much of our daily lives. You guys don't understand. They
don't impact my daily life whatsoever.
I bet you they do.
Your language begs to differ.
Your language, aqueducts. The reason cars are the size they are is because streets were based off of Roman streets, which were based off of the size
exists?
of carts and carriages.
Why I'm afraid to go outside every single day?
Sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thanks, Roman Empire.
How awesome the Colosseum looks.
Cage fights.
Vespas.
So basically, there's this trend on TikTok, and it's on my side of TikTok. I'm sure you guys will get to it eventually.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's basically, I feel like Janelle will probably either ask you or send it to you. But anyways, so it's basically asking your male friends, significant others, etc., how often they think about the Roman Empire. And without a doubt, it's way more often than they should probably think about the Roman Empire.
Well, it's
Actually,
it's also just in pop culture. It's you have movies like Gladiator, you got games like Total War. You also just think about it this way. It's even from a religious perspective, the whole New Testament is around the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Right. Anytime you think about Jesus, Roman Empire.
Exactly.
That's true.
Tim, I think I sent you a TikTok a few days ago, maybe a week or so ago, about if you're dating a man and he doesn't know how to defeat the right flank shield
Oh yeah.
movement, you're not dating a man.
You're not dating a man.
Yeah.
Honestly, see, Harley, actually, joke's on you. I actually was aware of this TikTok trend. I saw this coming. And there was actually a woman I follow. I can't remember her name, but she's her TikTok handle is No Nonsense Spirituality. And she actually talks about how she's the one she enjoys she thinks about the Roman Empire a lot, and she thinks about it from historical and psychological and religious perspective and everything. And she's the one in that relationship who actually thinks about it a lot, and she actually ties it in with the type of people that usually do think about it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I think she has too much time on her hands. So either she has a very niche like job. If like TikTok's her job, I think
No.
that gives her the opportunity to probably think about the Roman Empire a lot. And same with guys.
I think you're
Well,
just
guys,
ashamed
I
that
also,
I think you're just ashamed as a history major that you don't think about it a lot.
I think I'm
You should be
pleased
thinking
that
about it
as
more.
no, I think I'm pleased as a history major that I don't think about it that often.
I mean, really, we should
Because
all
it's,
be thinking about it more.
I think it's
Yes.
one of the people think it's like, oh, this is such a great time period in history. But have you looked at like all of the negative consequences of the Roman Empire?
Well, sure. That's
Yes.
the point, though. Like it was so big and it made such a huge impact on the world. It literally
Positive or
dominated.
negative.
Right. It's not just the Roman Empire; it's also the fall of it, and what happened with the Holy Roman Empire, and what happened with how the rise of Christianity. Like it all revolves around the Roman Empire.
I just don't want to think about
Christianity
white men
wouldn't
that
be here
much.
without the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, shit. Look what we've gotten ourselves into. Fantastic.
I shouldn't say that. Christianity as we know it wouldn't be here without the Roman Empire. I think it would be a much more pure form of Christianity.
Yeah. Because they were like,
they turned it into a theocracy.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I also saw a TikTok recently where I was like, that pertained to that. And it was talking about how like Romans hated Christianity. And then they were like, oh, but we can use this to our advantage. And then it all went downhill. 12 to 10. I don't think about the Roman Empire that often, but there is an alternate version that people are asking women, and it's how often do you think about getting kidnapped? And I think the answers of oftenness are the same.
Okay, but that's a very different and realistic like fear. Like what I mean by that
also,
is like,
I think about being kidnapped at least once a day.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, valid, but like,
my job, I drive to people's houses, and I'm always like, what happens if one day I knock on a door and they just grab me and pull me in?
You're a very beautiful man. Yeah.
What am I gonna do at that point?
true.
Keys, dude. Keys. Yeah.
Valid.
Yep.
Jab them.
I'm not prepared for it at all.
Yeah, so that was my little question that I wanted to. Hunter thinks about it quite frequently.
Yeah.
If that makes you guys feel better.
No, it makes me feel just normal. Like that is how like
Yeah.
it's just a common thing.
I don't
It
think
doesn't
you should
feel
be
like
thinking about it that
anything.
often.
I'm gonna ask my dad. Ask this Gen Xer. See what he thinks.
Your dad is
And you should
probably
ask your mom.
currently thinking about the
Oh, he's a
Roman
boomer.
Empire.
I'm gonna text him.
He's a boomer.
He's a
But
boomer.
No, if
he's
they
probably
respond.
currently thinking about it, like right now,
Yeah.
as we speak.
I saw this other TikTok of this guy who was like insanely mad. He was like, there is no reason these people should be thinking about the Roman Empire that often. And I was like, dang. But he was like mad.
Why?
It was like when you're dating Sheldon from
Just
like
let people
Big Bang
think
Theory.
about what they want to think about.
Yeah. Just let people be people. All right. I'll let you know, guys, as soon as my dad texts me back.
Rock on. Okay, so now we're going to move into our first segment for today's episode, which is the iconic, the lovely, the amazing Rick and Rev. Tim, would you like to tell us your Rick and Rev of the week?
Yes. Speaking of being kidnapped, I have a movie called Prisoners. It is.
Speaking of,
What a great segue. This movie is incredibly depressing. Not depressing. It's sad. So when Keller Dover's daughter and her friend go missing, he takes matters into his own hands as the police pursue multiple leads and the pressure mounts. But just how far will his desperate father go to protect his family? So long story short, you have this father, these two families, and they're like having a dinner together, and their daughters are friends, and they go running out and having fun. They're like having fun. They're like maybe 7 or 8, and they get kidnapped. And so the whole story is about the father, who is played by Hugh Jackman, a detective by Jake Gyllenhaal. You got Terrence Howard, who's the other dad. Paul Dano. He's the guy who played Riddler in the Batman. Just a creepy looking dude. Like he owns it too. Like he knows like his appearance, and he just plays into it really well. And then you also got Viola Davis and a few other pretty big actors. But the whole movie is about them trying to figure out who it is, because they think it's Paul Dano's character, and but there's no real evidence for it, and it's just really kind of like what the description shows is how far would you be willing to go as a parent to find out where your kid is? Would you push moral boundaries? Would you push legal boundaries? Would you push all these different things? And so, yeah, it's super dark, but it was really well made by Denis Villeneuve. Villeneuve, it's French, so I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's really great. I'm really actually upset it took me so long to watch it, but it was really great. Highly recommended.
To be honest, I would absolutely burn down the world.
Yeah, and this movie plays on that. It basically kind of goes.
Look, I don't care about laws. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about morality. Like, Taken didn't go far enough for me.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
I feel like that reminds me of like every Halle Berry movie where she has like a child gone missing or something. Like, what's her like? She definitely has like a very iconic film about like her child has gone missing, and she goes crazy. Like, she tracks this guy down. She does whatever to get her kid back, and I'm like, dang, I would love to be that kind of mom.
It kind of just comes naturally with the territory. Like once you have a kid, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna let anyone. Yeah, it that's what this movie does such a great job of. It really does show the difference between the two dads and how one is willing to do literally whatever it takes, including going past his own moral code, and then the other one is a little bit more reserved and trying to be peaceful about things. It's just a really crazy dynamic.
Very interesting.
So yeah, that's what I got.
What is it on? What'd you watch it on? Or just like
I downloaded it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Illegal.
By the way, I have an answer from my father.
Oh, cool.
He says, sometimes when I think of biblical stuff and I ask him daily, he goes, no. So maybe not as often, but it does happen.
Wow.
But he's a pastor, so he's always thinking of biblical stuff.
And that's what I thought too. So I don't know. Maybe he's trying to undersell it.
I respect
I think
him
it's
for that.
more. I think it's more.
Yeah.
More than he realizes.
Right. Yeah. That's all I got.
What is yours?
Mine is the new Ninja Turtles movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. So my dad took me to see this movie when I was, not this one, but Ninja Turtles when I was like a real little kid. I don't even know if it was actually like released at that point or if they were just doing like a Ninja Turtles movie night.
Yeah.
But it will be, I think it's about 30 years since that happened.
But to say, getting kind of old there, man.
And yeah, right. But Ninja Turtles, I've never been disappointed by a Ninja Turtles movie. You go in knowing exactly what you're going to get. Some ridiculousness with turtles being ninjas. Like, you can't take it too seriously. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be kooky. There's going to be pizza involved. And this movie did not let me down at all. So this one is Seth Rogen produced this one and also was one of the voice actors for it for Bebop. There was also John Cena, Jackie Chan, Ice Cube was in it. So all kinds of really cool actors. This one, though, focus on the turtles when they're younger, like 13, 14, 15-ish, versus being like the older 16, 17, 18. Because, you know, there's a difference between the two teen segments. So this is when they're like real little kids, like Donatello's voice is still cracking and things like that. It's pretty funny, pretty cute. But they still get on with their ninja antics. They meet April O'Neil, which we'll get to an issue I have with that later. But they meet April O'Neil. They have to fight off these giant mutants and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. It's a really cool, fun movie. It gets super interesting. And it's a fresh take on the Ninja Turtles.
Fascinating.
Nice.
Now, that said, my issue with the Ninja Turtles, not specifically the Ninja Turtles, but a trope, if you will, in movies, is when they diversify movies lately, they're adding characters of color, things like that, which is always great. But it seems like if there's ever a redheaded character, they replace that character with a black person.
Yeah. I've seen that too.
Just pointing that out.
I've heard that from multiple guys on TikTok.
Yeah. So, like, you got April O'Neil, Starfire was another one. the guy from what you call it, the time traveling DC universe show.
Oh man, I know what
He
you're talking
fuses with the professor. I don't remember, but that guy was originally redheaded. All kinds of crazy stuff.
about. Yeah.
All that to say, like I feel like there's some kind of conspiracy, and I haven't figured out what it is yet.
Please get back to us.
Yeah.
Interesting. I just know that one of the turtles likes BTS, and I think that's awesome. I don't know which one it was.
There's some anime references and things like that too, so it's pretty cool.
Cute.
Fun.
Okay, so mine, just to quickly wrap it up, I think I've done this one before, but they came out with a new like part 1 season. It's called Virgin River. It's on Netflix. And it's basically like your stereotypical Hallmark film, if you will, of like big city girl moves to small town. However, she's moving here because of like her nursing job or whatever. She was like asked to come there.
Mm-hmm.
And then now she's like trying to fit in with like the slower life and whatever, and like dealing with her past trauma of like her husband's death and stuff like that and blah, 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 blah. So it's very interesting. I've just started the part 1. But so far so good. Hunter and I binged it last summer at some point and just like clocked the whole thing, like all 4 seasons. I don't know what went through us, but it was like, it's one of those things where you're like, it's cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. But you just get drawn in and you can't stop it. It takes a hold of you. But it was pretty good. I recommend it if you're into stuff that's like, it's still got like that extra soap opera, like drama kind of thing. They keep it interesting. Random babies, random pregnancies, random like possible deaths, random, just all of that. So 12 out of 10 recommend if you're looking for something cheesy, corny, simple to watch. That's not like super heavy. So do with that what you will.
Cool beans.
Fair enough.
I'm down for it.
Woo. Okay. Now we're going to move into, and I'm going to let you guys say this. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, which one? Yeah, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing.
You know what you're doing.
Obviously. We all know what we're doing.
I don't know what we're doing, but I want to guess one. Shower thoughts with Chris.
So all of the people that like came out with alien stories and things like that, and nobody believed them over the past like forever. Are we going to apologize to those people like as a collective nation?
No. What Mexico is sharing is garbage. No.
Why is it garbage, Tim? Because it's Mexican?
It looks man-made. It looks like my daughter could have made that out of clay.
Look, all I'm saying is they need to test it with DNA testing. And if it comes back that it's not like somebody put bones in a clay ball and shaped it like an alien, then we owe some people an apology. That's all I'm saying.
Look, there's
like as a nation, we should gather everyone up that's still alive that has made these reports and just like throw them a pizza party or something. Like, I'm sorry, you were right. Have a slice.
There is a reason why the scientific community has not like blown up in rage and gone like, oh my God, there's a reason why.
Because they haven't tested it yet.
Gosh.
They need to test it.
I would like to point out, too, though, that we have our first shower thoughts with Chris near a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. This right here, this is where I have these thoughts. It's right back there.
In the booty mushroom.
The booty mushrooms.
Maybe that's why he has those thoughts, because there's mushrooms involved.
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
Opening up my third eye. Yeah, so that's what I thought about today.
Well, I hate it. I'm just kidding.
I feel like you always hate my shower thoughts.
I think you've had some good ones where I've been like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's other ones where I'm like, oh, I don't have the brain
Why is that in
capacity
your
to
head?
process these things.
Most people don't.
That's
It's
valid.
fine.
I mean, if you can process it, I guess that's really all that matters at
It
the end
is.
of the day.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have some listeners who are like screaming. They're like, yes, Chris, someone gets it.
I want my apology. And a meat lovers.
And a meat lovers. Scream. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap up our intro with our last segment, which is pretty iconic. I'm going to let you guys say this one again, of course. Hopefully we can get this to work.
I
All
don't
being
know
in
if the
separate
timing
places.
is going to work over Zoom.
That's why we have
We'll try.
That's why we have the power of editing.
This is true.
Nice. All right. It'll be, what did I miss?
Sounded good to me.
Sound good
It
to
felt
me.
like it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
it was
okay.
good.
We're all right. We're fine here. We're
Wow.
fine.
Wow.
We're
Look
all
at
good
us.
here.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Okay, so this is the part of the show where I goofed. Sorry. I keep please
What'd
just
you do?
stay here. I keep like minimizing my Zoom thing. Anyways, Tim can edit this.
Just don't cancel out.
No, I'm not editing a thing.
Oh, why?
Because
This is the part of the show where we like to present to you some news that you probably didn't hear about. Mine is so good. Okay, are y'all ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this.
Okay.
I found it and I was like, this is everything I need today. So, Coast Guard arrests a man trying to run a giant hamster wheel across the Atlantic.
What?
Yeah.
like he's.
Does he know how big the Atlantic is?
Does he know
Apparently not.
Do you know how big the
Apparently
ocean
not.
is?
Like, oh, just wait. Just wait. Hear me out. Okay?
How big was the hamster wheel?
It's like it's more of like a cage with like buoys and stuff around it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And to get it to go, he has to run in it.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right.
Like a little paddle.
So that's like as hamster wheel as it gets.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is directly from the article. So it says, try as he might, Reza Baluchi, I think is how you pronounce it, his name, can't reach his destination without running afoul of the U.S. Coast Guard.
Come on, guys. Just let a guy have some fun in a hamster wheel.
Look, natural selection exists for a reason.
Right.
True.
Just let it happen.
Let these people do what they want to do. And if they die,
It is what it is. The key
people don't
problem
think it
is
be
that
like
his...
it be.
What?
I said, people don't think it be like it be, but it do.
But it do. It do indeed. Okay. So the problem, as I kind of explained, is that his vessel is like a giant floating hamster wheel made of buoys and wire, self-propelled by Baluchi running inside. So Baluchi, who lives in Florida. Wow.
Makes sense. All right.
Thought.
Now I get it.
Florida. Okay,
But-
that floating or Florida guy. That's how we should have started this.
But he's actually been granted asylum from Iran. So he's
So he's
from
a transplant Florida man.
Iran. Yeah. So he was taken in by the Coast Guard last week aboard his vessel. So this post was posted on the 7th. So like 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago aboard his vessel, following several days of back and forth with the authorities. According to a criminal complaint filed by the U.S. District Court in South Florida, the Coast Guard cutter Valiant came across Baluchi and his homemade vessel about 70 nautical miles east of Tybee Island, Georgia? ?
Yeah.
GA. On August 26th, as the Coast Guard was preparing for Hurricane Franklin.
Wait. So this guy actually did legit cross, or like he's coming?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, and that's also another key part that I'll get to in a second. So, he told officers his destination, London, England.
Oh, he's coming from Florida. Okay.
Right. More than 4,000 miles away. When Baluchi was asked for the vehicle's registration, he said it was registered in Florida, but that he couldn't find the registration according to the complaint.
Oh, Mr. Florida guy. We know.
The Coast Guard assessed Bellucci's vessel, known as a hydropod, and determined that he was conducting a manifestly unsafe voyage, according to Coast Guard Special Agent Michael Perez. The officers then approached Bellucci in a small boat and instructed him to join them.
Uh-huh.
They were ending his voyage due to it being unsafe. Bellucci replied that he had a 12-inch knife
Oh,
and would attempt to, can I say the K word on here?
stay unalive.
Would attempt to unalive himself if the officers attempted to remove him from his vessel,
Oh, my.
according to the
Jeez.
complaint. So the officers returned back to their cutter ship and they just stayed nearby and just kind of monitored him. So next, the officers tried again over the next day or so to get Bellucci to join them on their small boat. Bellucci displayed 2 knives and threatened
Where'd he get the second one?
threatened to hurt himself if officers boarded his vessel. Bellucci also threatened to go boom boom on himself,
Oh.
along with his vessel. The officers saw him holding wires in his hand and believed him. And they said, too easy. We're going to head back now.
Oh, my God.
We're not dealing with this. So the following day, a second Coast Guard cutter named Campbell arrived and sent a small boat to Bellucci to deliver food, water, and word that the hurricane was expected. So they're like, hey,
If
we got something big coming. I don't know if you want to say
if we
You're not
can't
gonna
get you,
make it,
Poseidon will.
Yeah, for real. On August 29th, the Campbell once more sent a small boat and this time was able to safely remove Bellucci from his floating hamster wheel. Bellucci was brought ashore in Miami Beach last Friday, where he was released on a $250,000 bond.
Wow.
Did I include it in here? At some point, he said, yes, he had mentioned the first time the Campbell came out that the bomb, he didn't want to leave the vessel and there was no bomb on board.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. So that's why the second day they went out there, he was like, okay.
But I've got this third knife.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine? Like, dude. So while his case is underway, he's barred from travel outside of the Southern District of Florida and may not go to the ocean or board a vessel on the ocean.
Wow.
With a special condition, which is a special condition added to his bond agreement. This was far from Bellucci's first encounter with the Coast Guard. He has attempted voyages in a similar homemade vessel in 2014, 2016, and 2021.
Just let the
All of
man
which-
live his dream.
Just let him go.
This is the common denominator in today's episode. Let people think what they want to think and let them do what they want to do.
It truly is.
Yeah. So that's what I have for today.
Wow.
All right.
Good story. Good one.
Here's my knife.
Like every day he's out there, he just pulls out a new knife. It's like, where are those coming from?
They're like, Bellucci, please put the knives away.
He's making new knives with like spare wood he's got, just collecting. All right. Is it my turn?
Yes. Go for it.
All right. Forgive me, I'm going to mispronounce a lot of these Chinese words today. Earlier this year, Zhang Jia decided to close her business and become a full-time daughter. The 31-year-old...
What?
The 31-year-old from Hangzhou, China, started a clothing company in early 2020, but with her turnover falling, business was, quote, getting harder every year. Ms. Zhang now spends her days in her new role looking after her parents' wants and needs. In return, they pay her a monthly salary of 8,000 yen.
Yen.
It's basically $1,600 a month. Things are quite routine, Ms. Zhang said. I go for morning exercise with my parents after getting up. I do Tai Chi with my mom as she's been learning it. My parents love traveling, so I make plans with them. When they have trouble with digital devices, I also help them. Ms. Zhang is not the only young Chinese adult rejecting traditional notions of employment to make looking after their parents a full-time job. On China's social media platforms, more and more people who have made this similar decision have been sharing their experiences. Unlike what are known as NEETs, not in education, employment, or training, these, quote, full-time children don't think of themselves as unemployed. Rather, their employers are their parents. On Douban, a Chinese forum similar to Reddit, a discussion group called Full-Time Children's Work Exchange Center has more than 4,000 members. Some users on the site post about being excited about not having to go to work, while others express their frustration and anxiety about not being able to find a job. I wish things would work themselves out, but I really don't see a way out or hope, says one user. So this is like becoming a big thing in China, and it's kind of like going against some of the cultural norms because there's like these expectations for like basically children, younger and younger, to be like working full time, because China has a lot of child working, like children working in factories and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of like this big thing that's been kind of coming out recently. Here's another example. Wudi Shang attended one of China's most prestigious universities and received an offer to work at a Chinese branch of an international company before he graduated last year. However, despite being a high achiever, he chose to become a full-time son earlier this year. Like Mr. Zhang, Mr. Shang is an only child, having been born in 2000 during China's one-child policy. He felt he had a strong sense of family responsibility, and a big part of his decision was a desire to spend time with his sick grandmother who lives with his parents. I wanted to bring this for two reasons. Number one, it's funny. But number two, it brings up a great point that American culture especially has this really weird dynamic where it's almost like you're expected once you graduate high school to no longer be with your parents. Like there's obviously exceptions, and it's not everywhere, but it is like this big kind of push. But you go to countries like Italy, and like a lot of families like just straight up live together for a really long time. Like adults will be living with their parents until like their 30s, if not later. And it's like it's just a normal thing to where like they just take care of each other, and like they all pitch in for bills and whatnot. But it's not like you have to graduate, go to college, and then live on your own. It's kind of, we're actually a family. And so it's very interesting to see the different cultural norms and different cultural movements that are happening, especially in China, where a lot of crazy stuff happens there, and see kind of where things are leading.
I want to be a full-time daughter. This is ridiculous.
I'm going to let you guys know right now, the pay for that in the States is not great.
No, it's not.
That's basically what Janelle does for one of her jobs. She does respite care for Terry. So she like does the food. She'll go out with him if he needs to go somewhere. She'll do whatever she needs to do at the house to help take care of Terry. And I think she gets paid like $10 an hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super great pay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the economy also is garbage.
True.
So,
Chris, we got 5 minutes.
Late stage capitalism.
Chris, what do you
Yeah,
have?
so-
And you have to do it in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, I can do that. All right.
Rock
So mine is also one of those like let people do what they want to do things. Let people believe what they want to believe. Monster hunters are conducting the largest search of Loch Ness in more than 50 years.
I can only imagine your internet searches.
No.
My FBI agent's got some crazy stuff. He's so well-rounded. All right. Researchers and monster hunters are gathering in the United Kingdom's Scottish Highlands this weekend, which was actually August 21st, the weekend of the 21st of August. But I just really like this story, and I didn't get a chance to tell it last time. For the biggest search of the legendary beast in more than 50 years, somewhere beneath the shimmering surface of Loch Ness lies Nessie, the legendary sea beast whose reputation spans nearly 1,500 years. Let's talk about that for a second. This one creature, 1,500 years. Do you think it's the same one? Do you think that there's more than one, like it's a generational thing? Or do you think this could have been a thing like way back then, but now it's just stories? Or do you think it's never existed at all?
No.
I know you don't believe, Tim.
Has there even been recent sightings?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where I lie on that then. I do believe in cryptids.
I don't know about that.
There's a new video actually from this weekend that this guy caught something coming out of the water,
A
but
log.
it's actually like a high def video just from far away. So it's not like all the blurry black and white photos you see all the time. It's like you can actually see something, and it's like, that might be Nessie. It might be a squid. Who knows? I don't think there are squids in lakes, though.
I think we should leave her alone. Leave Nessie alone.
It only works if you cry, too.
Ah.
All right. They were talking about our purpose is to observe, record, and study the natural behavior of the loch and phenomena that may be more challenging to explain. Loch Ness.
Yeah.
I really like when they try to be scientific about it. But we're just here to study the loch. If you believe that the Loch Ness Monster exists, we invite you to join in on the search. We equally invite you to support the study of the loch and natural behavior of the elements that may be the root cause of these strange reports of Loch Ness.
You know we have like heat signature like devices, right? And like
Oh, true.
They don't deploy them into Loch Ness. But also, like, if I'm not mistaken, Loch Ness has like things like tunnels under it as well that Nessie could be hiding in. You don't know.
No, you're
Look,
right.
at 22 square miles with a maximum depth of 788 feet, Loch Ness is Great Britain's largest lake by volume and second largest by surface area. There you go.
Pretty large.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking huge. That's funny. That's what I got. So it was the biggest search. A whole bunch of people showed up. It was like 1,400 people showed up for this search. One guy caught the video by accident. Like he was packing up for the day and he saw it and he was like, oh God, go. So, there you go. I think Nessie exists and you're going to let me believe whatever I want to believe.
You believe whatever you want to believe.
I think they should leave her alone, though.
Oh, no, I completely agree.
Alone.
Like people that are like hunting her definitely need to back off. But
that's concerning.
I think if you're just there to watch and observe, that's fine. But don't disturb.
Yeah.
Period.
See, tell you the same thing I tell my daughter at Walmart. Look, don't touch.
Not just Walmart, but anywhere.
Just
yeah, pretty much.
Life lesson. Live by it.
Walmart, museums, 6th Street in Austin, whatever.
People.
Just look, don't touch.
Look, don't touch.
Don't touch. Okay, friends. Well, that concludes our little intro. And now we're going to go ahead and get into some very cutesy, good information on holiday stuff in September. BRB.
Thank you all for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at AlwaysMorePod.
If you'd like to ask us a question for us to answer on the pod, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us on our Always More hotline and leave a voicemail question at 254-218-4042.
You can also follow all of our social medias individually and as the Always More podcast. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to it.
Welcome back from our short, quick little break time. Ooh.
Chris, I feel like you moved further down so that way we can look more into the asses of these little mushrooms.
I shifted it around so you could see some of my favorites.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
I really like this one.
Well, all right.
Yuck.
Yuck.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move into our main segment for today.
Woo!
And we are talking about our favorite holiday observances, awarenesses of the month. Okay,
Which is weird because it's September.
Ends.
What do you mean it's weird because it's September?
I mean, you don't really think of September as a holiday month.
Well, fuck you, dude.
I mean,
It's
a
got a
great
lot of
month to be
stuff going
born.
on, okay?
It's a great month to be born. I just when you're like, oh, your big holidays, February has a lot of holidays, July, 4th of July, October, December. You don't think September.
Skip November, okay?
Well,
Rock
obviously
on.
November.
This guy. Get a load of this guy today.
This guy. What do you think you're doing, man? You're just talking about the better of September.
Oh,
I'm not talking bad about it. I'm just saying, you don't usually think of September holidays, which is why we're doing this episode.
you know what's so funny to me? I looked up the other day for my job. I had looked up big moments in history that happened in September.
And?
Do you want to know why that's a problem?
Oh, because September wasn't always a month, so it's kind of hard to gauge it sometimes.
Because of 9/11.
Because of 9/11.
Oh.
Come on, Tim.
I forgot about 9/11. And that's like the one thing you're not supposed to
Yeah,
do.
you're never supposed to forget.
To be fair, you weren't born yet, right?
I was born.
Okay.
I was like 1, though.
Okay.
Just about to turn 2. So like I have no cognitive.
Right.
I know exactly where I was and what I was doing, and I remember the seat I was in.
Wow. I really just remember like the aftermath because they didn't really share it at school for us. And so I remember like my parents watching the news and stuff like that and then hearing about it afterwards, of course. But
There are so many millennials that had to watch that because it happened and they were just like, turn on the TV in front of children.
right.
Mhm.
Right.
I was in 4th grade, man.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have seen that.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah. And then I had to get it shoved down my throat when I didn't even, really could
Understand.
process what was going on.
Yeah, that's because they
And they
had
were
to
like, here are
justify the
people-
war.
True. Here are people jumping out of these really tall buildings to survive.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh?
Yeah, I watched that live. I watched that first guy drop live.
Insane. This is not the holiday we're talking about, though. Holiday?
It's
Can you
not-
even call it that? Memorial?
No. There we go.
That we are talking about today, though. But we did give its flowers. We did.
It deserves the conversation.
It deserves
Yeah.
a conversation.
It does indeed. Tim, would you like to go ahead and start us off with your favorites for the month?
Yes, I'm going to save these honorable mentions just in case one of you guys steals them. But I'm going to start off with September 4th. September 4th is National Wildlife Day. Not
It's
just
also National Tim Was Born Day.
That's right. And there's a sad reason why this
Day.
is that I'll get to in a minute. So what it is the
What?
the National Day focuses on endangered species preservation and conservation efforts around the world. Zoos, aviaries, and marine sanctuaries provide a variety of ways to get involved. No matter where you live, opportunities abound to learn and participate in the day. Wildlife doesn't only exist in the forest or outside the city limits. Look closely, the creatures and animals sharing our world live under our feet in the skies above us. Since wildlife relies on a stable habitat, understanding conservation and preservation is important. Developing strategies help to maintain existing habitats and repair or replace those that have been destroyed. Around the world, facilities and organizations will present seminars, and educational programs. Additionally, podcasts and documentaries alert us to changing conditions for various species around the world, so go find one. National Wildlife Day history. Colleen Page, the pet lifestyle expert and author, founded National Wildlife Day in 2005. She created the day in honor of and later in memory of wildlife conservative Steve Irwin, who had passed away on September 4th, 2002, 3. The Global Awareness Day brings education to the public concerning the number of endangered animals and the need for conservation and preservation. And so here's some simple ways how to observe the national holiday. Participate in a presentation, volunteer to fundraise for rehabilitation services, learn more about the needs of endangered species and how conservation efforts work, and just kind of go learn. Find out stuff about endangered animals. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Harley, did you ever watch Steve Irwin like at all?
Crocodile Hunter.
Crocodile Hunter, yeah.
I did, but it was like,
She
it was weird
one.
Yeah.
because like, I feel like I remember him. I don't know how to word this. that to where it makes sense. When I first found out about him, obviously I thought he was alive. But for some reason, I remember his death. But I don't think I was old enough yet to process, like, or to even remember his death.
It was
When did
06.
06?
Oh,
Okay,
so I was.
I wasn't early. Okay.
I was like in first grade, maybe? Question mark.
Yeah.
But I remember watching like a little bit of like Steve Irwin and being like, oh my God. Because that's the prime age of being interested in wild animals,
Right.
of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you guys like seen his kids too, and just like how
I
passionate they
love
are?
them.
It's
Dude,
beautiful.
yeah.
I love it. It makes my heart so freaking happy.
Go Robert and Bindi.
Yeah.
She just got married, I think last year, I
She
want to
did.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Bendy
for
just
her.
got married, and Robert is like leading the zoo.
I feel like he's engaged or something, right? In a relationship right now, too.
Probably.
I don't know.
You know what really makes me happy about like this family? It's like it's like a celebrity family that I'm not ashamed to like want to follow and like be happy
They're
for. Does that make sense?
non-problematic.
Right.
Yeah.
They're non-problematic. They work for not for profit like charities, and they work for like bettering the world. And it's like, yeah, I want to follow them because they're doing great things.
No relationship drama, nothing
Right.
crazy.
They just seem like
You
really
know,
great people, and I want to follow what they're doing.
His wife refuses to remarry
Period.
because she said she's already found the best guy on the planet, the only
Wow.
one for her, and there will never be another.
Wow.
I respect her for that.
Incredible.
That's what I expect Janelle to do when I die.
I recently
Stay
saw a TikTok from Robert, actually, where he said they just recently got quokkas. How do you say that?
Quokkas, yeah.
Quokkas at
Quokkas.
the Australian Zoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was so cute.
I
Oh my
love that
gosh.
TikTok.
Yes. So 12 out of 10.
Yep.
I also recently at the library, a woman came in and she asked if we had any books on Steve Irwin. And we surprisingly only had the like, do you know those books that are like, who was blah, blah, blah? Or like, what is the American Revolution? And it's got like, the cover and it has like a big head of somebody.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was like, who was Steve Irwin?
Huh.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then like the book that his wife wrote, Me and Steve. Very cute.
I'm sure like, there is this whole other side of Australians, but like just the way their media is portrayed just makes them seem like all great people. Like Bluey too,
Yeah.
like just gives off as a great person.
I
like,
love Bluey.
I know, it's the best.
Bluey is my favorite show right now.
I mean,
My
And I'm an
cats love to
adult.
watch it.
Hugh Jackman and
Hugh Jackman's Australian?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
What?
yeah. Who is the guy who plays Thor? He's Australian.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth is Australian. I
Oh,
think.
but his brother sucks.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we stand Miley in this house.
Miley.
All right, should I do the next one, or are we going back and forth?
Go for it.
Okay. September 29th, National Coffee Day.
Coffee.
According to an expert cupper, a professional coffee taster, there are 4 components of a perfect cup.
Don't like that.
The cupper part?
Yeah, that's the part.
Oh, I thought you meant the 4 components part. And I was like, duh, come on, Chris.
The 4
Essential.
Mouthfeel.
the 4 components are aroma, body, acidity, and flavor. That's what you got. From the moment the average coffee lover opens a fresh bag of coffee beans, the aroma beckons, percolating the senses. Even those who don't drink coffee tend to enjoy the fragrance roasted beans cast. It is a delicious, amazing smell.
I've never been a coffee drinker. I've started recently, but I've always loved the smell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember my first cup of coffee.
Here's some quick things. Growing, roasting, and brewing. When determining the body of a coffee, the bean, the roast, and the brew are all factors. The bean affects the texture of the coffee, whether it's silky, creamy, thick, or thin on the tongue and throat. However, the darker the roast and how we brew it, will alter the feel of coffee's body too. Whereas a coffee bean's grow determines its acidity. The higher the elevation the coffee grows, the higher the quality and the acidity. Interesting. These coffees are considered brighter, drier, and even sparkling by cuppers. When it comes down to it, coffee lovers cherish the flavors as well as the caffeinated boost this roasted bean gives morning or night, black or with cream and sugar. Some history. When legendary accounts tell how coffee first came to be, the earliest credible evidence of either coffee drinking or the knowledge of the coffee tree appears in the middle of the 15th century in the Sufi monasteries around the Mocha in Yemen. Interesting. Here, monks fire-roasted coffee seeds and brewed coffee, much like we prepare them today. In 1670, Baba Budan smuggled coffee seeds out of the Middle East by strapping 7 seeds onto his chest. The first plants grown from these stowed away seeds were planted in Mysore. Coffee later spread to Italy and the rest of Europe, Indonesia, and the Americas. While Brazil produces more coffee in the world than any other country, Colombia closely follows. Also, more than 50 countries around the world grow coffee too. As a result, we choose from a bountiful selection of flavors for the indulgence of steamy cups of the black drink for which connoisseurs to consume.
Nice.
Coffee.
I remember when I first learned from a speech in one of my speech classes that the lighter the roast, I think it is, means it's more caffeinated because you're not like burning out all of the caffeine.
Makes sense.
That means the darker the roast, obviously the stronger the flavor, but less caffeine.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Caffeine doesn't actually boost you up or give you energy. It just blocks these certain, if I'm not mistaken, amino acids. No, proteins from basically, like, there's this little protein that makes you feel sleepy. Basically, it just blocks those. That's all it does.
So it just prolongs the inevitable.
Yes, and then the more you drink,
Basically.
it creates this effect where you kind of need it consistently, because I don't know exactly why, but like it basically it builds like these more little, for me, for lack of a better word, but like little cups for those proteins to go in. It just creates more of them. And so if you stop drinking coffee, you'll start feeling even more tired after you don't drink it.
Yep.
Makes sense.
I had a really bad caffeine addiction in college. It was horrible.
It sucks. I get headaches.
Did you guys see the episode of Futurama where Fry drank 100 cups of coffee in one day?
Yes.
Like achieved perfect enlightenment.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
He was like, they all got like a government check for a certain amount of money, and he was going to spend his entire thing on coffee. So it was like 100 cups of coffee that he could afford. And like cup 1 is normal, cup 2 is fine. By like cup 30, he's getting irritable. Cup 99, he's like shaking and twitching. But when he drinks that 100th cup, like time stops. He gets this golden glow around his body like he's Jesus. It's so great.
Relate to him. That's how I feel when I have 1 cup of coffee.
Mm.
And then I'm fine. I've actually been preferring to drink chai lattes recently.
I'm a big fan of chai.
Mm-hmm.
I had a chai latte the other day. Janelle made it for me.
It's got
Delicious.
good flavor. Great flavor.
Mm.
Okay, my turn. I'm going to talk about my favorite thing, holiday observances, awarenesses of the month. First, it's National Library. National Library Card Sign-Up Month.
Hey.
There we go. So, if you didn't know, I work at a library. So it's very important to me that people sign up and get library cards. Okay. So the campaign started in 1987 as a response to then Secretary of Education William Bennett, who stated, "Let's have a campaign. Every child should obtain a library card and use it."
Cool.
Thanks.
I agree.
Sounds easy enough. Also, it's to basically encourage students at the beginning of every school year just to get a library card. Sounds easy. This year's theme is elemental, so like the movie, according to the American Library Association. So from the ALA website, it says, get in your element this September. Sign up for a library card. From borrowing books, ebooks, and museum passes to getting homework help, learning new skills, or attending story time, a library card helps you do more of what you enjoy. Get a library card and dive into a new hobby. Use your library card to tinker in a makerspace and spark your creativity. A library card is your most important school supply. It's elemental, really, and everyone should have one. It's very cute.
Cute.
Very cute. But yeah, like I
can't
said,
get one.
why can't you get one?
I
you
have been
banned?
banned from 2 separate libraries.
That doesn't matter. Are you banned from like the local ones?
Yes.
What? Why are you banned from the library?
It's
did
a
you
long
do?
story.
Did you steal?
No, never.
So then, what is the problem? Were you a menace to society in a library?
I'm always a menace to society.
This is a good point.
Yeah, I've been banned from the Colleen Library and the Temple Library.
Why?
I'm both surprised and not surprised all at the same time.
I think I'm just
You're
more.
surprised to hear it, but if you were going to hear it from anybody, you're not surprised.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Disappointed but not surprised, I guess is the best way to put it. Obviously, library card sign up month means a lot because we're really promoting it at my library. We actually just went to K-State yesterday and did some outreach to get some college kids to sign up for a library card.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
that was pretty fun. My favorite quote about libraries is, I forget who even says it, but it's basically that they are some of the last free spaces in our communities where you are not expected to pay anything, like any
True.
money at all.
Yeah.
So getting a library card really shows the fact that like libraries are still needed. These spaces are still very important. And that it gives an opportunity, especially for like those who don't have homes to hang out in.
Yeah.
And just kind of like be in a safe space and stuff like that. Places for teens to go, places for kids to go. So yeah, love it.
I dig
Love
it.
it, love it,
Cool.
love it.
I like it.
Cool.
Look into your local library programs.
And your
as
liberal
well.
ones too.
No.
Unless
No.
you're banned.
Yeah. Then you can't go. There is a downtown clean library, but that's kind of scary. Anyways, next I have National PCOS Awareness Month, which is Polycystic Ovary Syndrome. So
Wow.
PCOS Awareness Month is a federally designated month. PCOS Challenge, the National Polycystic Ovary Syndrome Association, is the sponsoring organization for PCOS Awareness Month and offers supporting resources, information, and events. The aim of PCOS Awareness Month is to help improve the lives of those affected by PCOS and to help them overcome their symptoms as well as prevent and reduce their risks for other life-threatening related conditions. So basically, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, is a serious genetic, hormone, metabolic, and reproductive disorder that affects women and girls. It is the leading cause of female infertility and a precursor for other serious conditions, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and endometrial cancer. So pretty serious, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The goals and ideals of PCOS Awareness Month are to increase awareness of and education about PCOS among the general public, women, girls, and healthcare professionals. This is obviously one of those conditions that's not taken very seriously in a medical setting.
It's because women aren't taken seriously in a medical setting.
Facts, no printer. Also, to improve diagnosis and treatment of the disorder, disseminate information on diagnosis and treatment options, improve quality of life and outcomes for women and girls with PCOS. Is there a more inclusive terminology? Well, I guess you use
Females?
Yeah.
No.
But for those who have
People
an
with
ovary,
uteruses.
people with uteruses, thank you.
People with ovaries.
People with ovaries. Promote the need for further research, improve treatment and care options, and for a cure for PCOS, acknowledge the struggles affecting those with ovaries afflicted with PCOS, urge medical researchers and healthcare professionals to advance their understanding of it in order to research, diagnose, and provide assistance to those with ovaries and uteruses and etc. Because I think it affects more than just the ovaries. It spreads and it gets bad.
It's
Anyways.
the entire reproductive system. Yeah.
Yes. Encourage countries, states, territories, and localities to make PCOS a public health priority. So this is really important to me because obviously I am somebody who has ovaries. I don't think I am a person who has it, but it's definitely something that people can develop later in life.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people who have it.
Yeah.
And it's just really sad to like see them struggle with it. And so I wouldn't want personally anybody I know with ovaries to experience this because really it can feel extremely alienating. It's very painful. And it's really difficult to navigate without any support from anybody who doesn't even know a single thing about it. So that's very important.
Indeed.
Do your
If you don't
research.
think you know somebody with it, you're probably wrong.
Yeah, it's actually disgustingly common, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
So be aware, be square, don't be around. I said it wrong. Talk about it. Chris, what do you have?
I don't even remember anymore. On a much lighter note than PCOS, I have National Food is Medicine Day,
Oh my God! Of course,
Which-
this is
September
Tuesday.
14th.
Can help PCOS, fun fact.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Diet
that
change
couple?
can't help that.
Oh,
Have you seen that couple on TikTok?
Maybe.
It's like it was this dad who's like a chef or whatever, and his wife has PCOS, and they were wanting to have a baby. So for like a whole year in advance, he would make her foods that would like not like complement, but like wouldn't affect the PCOS as much, like make it worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a baby.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah,
Good for
very
them.
cool. So continue. How is this?
so-
how does this work?
National Food is Medicine Day, celebrated in the United States every year on September 14th. Health and food organizations use the day to raise awareness about the barriers to good food in the U.S. Campaign points out that many low-income families always have to deal with obstacles that make it difficult for them to get the healthy food they need. The goal of bringing these challenges to the forefront of National Food is Medicine Day is to generate enough buzz to encourage government and private sector entities to collaborate on developing solutions that make it simpler for people to get healthy food. So I'm sure you guys have noticed if you go downtown Killeen, it's like a food desert. There's not really places to shop. You can go to like small Mexican markets or gas stations or whatever have you, but there's no big health food
yeah.
options there.
Yeah, they
So
closed it.
There was an HEB there. They closed it. Yeah. So this holiday is more about the awareness of food being medicine. Like diet changes can help with all kinds of diseases like diabetes, PCOS, cancer, things like that. All of that can be treated at some level by food.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, it's going to not make things worse.
Yes.
So that's what that's about.
Yeah, my dad lives in downtown Killeen, and that was like our biggest complaint was there's like a Dollar General, and you have to go all the way
Yeah.
across town to go to like HEB or Walmart.
Yeah,
Yeah, and-
exactly. And for a lot of people, they don't have cars, so they just
Mm-hmm.
they buy all their food from a gas station or the Dollar
Yep.
General.
Yeah, and that also doesn't. A lot of people don't consider, especially when people are complaining at people that are obese or not living healthily, that it's more expensive to eat healthier. Like it just is.
Yeah.
It's so much cheaper to eat horribly because cheaper foods are, they're more processed, they're saltier, they consume more fats, and so it's so much easier to get caught up in unhealthy eating because that's all you can afford.
Yeah.
And so
I saw a post on Facebook today actually that was it said like peanut butter with all the additives and stuff is like $3, but peanut butter with just peanuts is like $9.
Which is insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like just common sense thinking about that. How does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Different ways to celebrate National Food Day. Sorry, National Food is Medicine Day is to cook a healthy meal.
Mm.
Or you could participate in
on.
food hunts, which encourage and educate people about healthy diets. Or you could donate to food agencies. That's
Mm.
always a really beneficial thing.
Yeah.
Because those are the types of things that like they'll take those healthy foods to the communities that need them. So
Your
that's
local
always cool.
food bank. Yeah.
Food banks. Yeah, and definitely make sure you're donating healthy food to those.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
that is what I got for that one.
I dig it.
Nice.
And my next one is literally 7 days later. So the very next week on September 21st, Mabon.
What?
What?
Mabon. Mabon.
Okay.
What is that?
Mabon is a how do I say this without it's a witchy holiday, basically.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's one that we celebrate in our house with Janelle's friends and everything. It's originally based on a pagan holiday, just like Halloween and Christmas and everything like that. Mabon is celebrated September 21st of every year and ends on the 29th. It's a full 8-day festival falling on the autumn equinox. It is a harvest festival that signifies the middle of the harvest cycle, when both days and nights are of equal length, making it a festival of balance and harmony. In Celtic folklore, the festival is named after Mabon, the god of Welsh mythology, who is the son of the god of light and Mother Earth. Mabon is celebrated to thank Mother Earth for the abundance and gifts of nature.
Cute.
Fun.
So, very reminiscent of like, I guess, Thanksgiving, Oktoberfest, those kinds of holidays. It's in the same family
Harvest
vein as those.
Yeah.
But obviously based specifically on autumn equinox.
Cute.
So
Love it.
different ways to celebrate Mabon. You can decorate your house. The best way to celebrate Mabon is to decorate your house in the most earthly way possible to let the spirit of nature kind of guide you and fill your house with autumnal colors. There is no better way to celebrate than going out for a picnic. You can do that. That's fun.
I could do
You can
that.
also throw a feast.
Ooh.
Feast.
You can invite your friends and family over, enjoy the joyful day with them. Make sure to share the feast with those who need the true spirit of the holiday. So kind of like you're gonna laugh, but kind of like in Whoville for Christmas, the holiday cheermeister.
Yeah.
It's for the person that needs it the most.
Yeah.
Aw.
Mabon is supposed to be celebrated with people that need it the most.
Aw.
Aw,
I like it.
cute.
So invite your friends over for a Mabon feast. Celebrate with autumnal colors. Burn some incense or something.
Make a what is that called? The pot thing.
Cornucopia.
No, goober. Simmer
know.
pot.
A simmer pot. I don't know. That's what I thought of.
The pot thing. Cornucopia.
It's kind of like a pot, just
Marijuana?
made out of wicker.
No.
So those are my two holidays. And like I said, we're actually celebrating Mabon this year with some of Janelle's friends. So that'll be fun.
Cute.
Can I mention some honorable mentions since we're over here and we're done now?
For
I
sure.
guess.
September
Yeah, I
22nd,
reckon.
National Hobbit Day.
Right.
That's coming up. I'm gonna watch all the movies coming on 22nd. I'm gonna do it. All
The
extended,
editions.
I have it on the server
Whoa.
now, so go for it. September 7th, Beer Lovers Day. So we missed that, but I'm trying to make up for it.
Just kidding.
September 5th, Be Late for Something Day. Chris, that was your day, bro.
I missed it. I was late.
No,
Now celebrate it.
no. If I'm not
Celebrate
mistaken,
it today.
didn't we record on September 5th? It was on a Tuesday.
I believe so.
Oh my god, we
And
did.
I think you were
No.
late.
Yeah, we did.
We did, and I was late.
He was late today too. So
Yeah.
I wasn't late today. I was working.
No, you were late. And
I told y'all I had work.
late.
And then last but not least, September 12th, Video Games Day.
Nice.
Dope.
That's what I got.
All right.
Wow, these are some pretty good days. I think I'm going to suggest that everyone at the beginning of each month just check and see what national holidays and stuff or observances, awarenesses. Wow.
It could
You
be
guys both have cats. Where's my cat?
Oh yeah.
This makes
It
me
could
upset.
be
Saw
like
Tim's cat in the background, and I was like, I should get mine.
it could be like a fun thing too, Harley. That's a good point. Like if you kind of like if you're tired of just like the same thing over and over again every day, like you can find something to do like throughout like once a week. Like, hey, what other national holiday can I do that's something simple and celebrate? Like coffee. Like go find out a new coffee that I like the smell of and like the taste of. Or
Y'all remember that episode of SpongeBob where he was celebrating Leif Erikson Day?
yes, there you go.
Yeah.
I support this.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move into our last break and then wrap up this episode. And we are back. Uh-oh, I'm back again. Dun, 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 dun.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. That's what it sounds like you're getting
So
into.
don't be suspicious. Don't
be
be
suspicious.
suspicious.
No.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Hunter's yelling about football. Sorry.
Oh, those guys and their footballs.
It's our football. Okay, friends, we're going to go ahead and move into this new-ish segment called Questions from the Internet.
I don't have a sound for it.
Don't we? Fan questions?
But it's not fan questions.
Okay.
But if they listen to our pod, they'd be fans.
Exactly, but they haven't yet, as far as we know.
True. Maybe they are, though.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I've seen weirder things.
True. So, user Kelsey94 on Reddit asked, what movie would you choose to be your final movie you watched before you died?
It's such a hard question
I hate this question.
because it's like, do you want to go out in a happy note or do you want to go out in like a somber, like last thoughts, like kind of mode? And like,
Am I
would I watch
watching
a
it
movie?
alone?
Yeah, I don't
Am I
know.
watching it with people?
I guess you can make your own terms and conditions.
Yeah, I guess if it's with people, I guess I want it to be like laughter and fun and everything.
I would 100% watch it with my closest friends and family, and it would be The Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Aww.
That is tragic.
That one
Why
of the
would you
last
do
lines,
that?
one of the last lines in that movie is, how lucky am I to have someone, hold on, how lucky am I to have someone that makes saying goodbye so hard?
Mm.
Horrible. Literally, that
Wow.
actually would be
That's like-
traumatizing.
It's cathartic, but also
No.
like,
No. I think
he
that would
was hard to say
be-
goodbye to.
That would be traumatic.
But it's just one of my favorite movies. I love
Valid.
Winnie the Pooh.
Man, that is a hard one.
I don't have one.
I think if it's serious, I might go with Moneyball, only because it deals with like it's kind of like that song, Chris. It's not called The Show. What is it called? It's got like acoustic guitar and man, I can't remember the name of it. It's gonna make me mad when I can't think about it. But anyways, it's about like it's like realizing that the whole point of life is not reaching a singular goal, but the whole point of life is that the whole life is a show, and like you're supposed to embrace the little moments and the big moments and the sucky moments.
Transistor Radio.
That's
Cloud
it.
Cult.
Yes, that's it. And so
Where I am, where I've been, is the show.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
So that one might be. If it's a funny one though, it depends on who it's with.
Borat.
No, I wouldn't go Borat.
Horrible.
I'd probably go like Nacho Libre just because it's reminiscent. Like that's my
Yes.
childhood. Like that's an easy one. Or Napoleon Dynamite.
No. That
No.
movie's not good to watch. It's only good to quote.
Hardly got nothing.
I think if it were to be a sad one, I'd probably choose Dead Poets Society.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for a funny one, oh, maybe The Sandlot. It's one of my
Mm.
favorite
Ooh, that's
films.
a good one.
Yeah, Sandlot's a good one.
It's just a pretty, it's a classic, you know?
Yeah.
That or like maybe, what is a movie that makes me like laugh? I can't even think. Maybe like an Adam Sandler film.
Yeah.
Mr. Deeds.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh my God, you have to watch Mr. Deeds. It's one of his best movies ever.
Good to know. Oh, you don't like Adam Sandler?
I do not like Adam Sandler at all.
Why don't you like Adam Sandler?
I just don't.
Is it because he's Jewish?
Nope. Harley, it's definitely not that.
Tim.
Wow. I cannot
I
believe
thought I
this.
knew you better than this.
Wow. It is not because he is Jewish.
How did we get to this point?
Why don't you like Adam Sandler?
I don't know. I just can't.
Is it because he's Adam Sandlery?
Yeah, it's just nothing against him as a person. I'll take this. I take that back. I don't like his comedy movies. I really enjoyed what was the basketball one he just did before?
Hustle?
Great. Huh?
Hustle?
Yes, love that one. That was great. So as an actor, he's got it. I just don't like his comedy.
That's wild because that's like kind of his thing.
Yeah. Well.
Or I might watch another Robin Williams movie like Flubber or like
Oh.
Night at the
he
Museum.
just
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah. Or like the one where he's the nanny, the old lady.
Mrs.
Mrs.
Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe I'll just stick to Robin Williams.
Robin Williams would definitely be a go-to.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mhm. So, okay, next one.
All right.
User Exotic Custard 8293. Thank you. Ask, what is the underrated website you visited that not many people know about?
True size of. TrueSizeOf.com. What you don't look at me that way, Chris. What you do is it's like a big map, like a regular like map that you see of the Earth, and you select a country, and you get to move it around as if it were like compared to another country, and it actually shows the true size of it is compared to another country. And the
Like
reason
putting
why
it in Texas.
exactly, and the reason why this is important is because everyone thinks like Greenland is huge, but if you put it in Africa, it's like so tiny.
Interesting.
Like that's your projection. Like Russia, like yes, it's big, but if you move the map, like Russia to like like I said, like middle of Africa or something, it's like it's big, but it's not as like ginormous as it looks on a regular projected map because obviously you have to distort it because it's a globe.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
It gives you a fresh perspective. It gives you like, you know what, I thought about the world this way, but in reality, it's not. I think it's a very cool way to kind of shake your perspective a little bit about the world around you.
Like how many Rhode Islands I could put in the state of Texas.
Exactly. And I've even played this game where like I pulled the country of Liechtenstein or like the Vatican City and I hovered over Colleen. Excuse me. Hover over Colleen. You get to see like how big it actually is because you get like this little like marker. You know how big Colleen is. You know how big it is to get around your local area. So you just move that small little country over. Like, oh wow, that is actually really small.
That's pretty groovy, actually. That's pretty cool.
Chris, why are you looking at me that way, dude? I don't like this look that you're giving me here. Let me enjoy my thing, man. Just let me do my thing.
I didn't think of one myself, but that's definitely a Tim answer.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's very Tim-like of you.
I don't know how to take that.
That's good. It's very
Yeah, it's
factual.
not a bad thing.
I like geography. That's a geography thing.
Yeah. Rock on. I don't think I have a website.
I used to, not so much anymore. There used to be a thing called Tickled, which is kind of like Reddit, basically, but it was mostly funny stories. Like I would just spend hours scrolling Tickled, reading the stories, and Janelle would be so mad because I'd spend way too long in the bathroom on Tickled. She's probably getting mad right now remembering it.
Chris, do you remember like those websites? I don't know. There's got to be one that might like like once we hear it, it'll like definitely like light up like this whole bunch of memories. But like back when we were in elementary school, and it was before like site blockers really came into schools, but like these websites where you could play games at. So like when you were in class to do like
Newgrounds.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
remember those.
yeah. It's like
Mine was cool math games.
Of course it was.
yeah, yeah.
You
that's
never
a-
did cool math for kids?
no.
I did, but we're talking about games like Kitten Cannon.
Yeah, Kitten Cannon. Yes, yes.
That was my
Well,
favorite
it wasn't
game in
math
school.
games.
Wow.
It was like Fire Girl and Water Boy.
We are not talking
And you
about
had to-
educational video games.
They weren't educational. It was just the name of the site was called Cool Math for Kids. I don't know why. Don't quote me on that. But it had
So that it could get past the school filters.
Yeah, Stickman.
probably.
Like all the kind of like Stickman RPG.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or that's where that video into Z World came from.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good stuff.
It's not really a website, but I think you can get to it if you search it. You know when your internet crashes and there's the dinosaur if you're on Chrome?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like playing the dinosaur game where he jumps over cactuses and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that underrated, but you can like look it up and play it outside of in your internet crashes. That's all I got. I don't really have a website.
Here's another one. It's
Yeah.
kind of like one of those like if you need a tool, tinywow.com. It like shows you all kind of different things like how to like edit your photos or change your photos or like how to convert your different file types. It's got like little things that you never think you need, but it's there if you need it kind of thing.
That's also a Tim answer. You got something for everything.
Well, you know,
It's very impressive. It's very neat.
He's the guy.
I should show
Yeah.
you.
He's the guy.
I should show you my folders.
He's
I'm
him.
looking through them right now. There's quite a few actually that I have that I'm not going to
He's
share.
the folders guy. I got a folder for that.
He's a Virgo. Of course he's a folders guy.
All right,
Can't help it.
let's hit this last one.
Erica Sky for You asked, what song would you recommend for setting as an alarm? None of them. Don't set a song as your alarm, was that English? Don't set a song as your alarm because you will end up hating it. And then anytime you listen to that song in the future, you cannot unassociate it with waking up to it as an alarm.
I disagree.
I-
TikTok by Kesha.
TikTok by
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
I want you to set that song as your alarm clock tone now
I'm
and
not
see
going
how
to.
long
See the
it will take you before you hate it.
The trick is
I
not to pick
already
any
hate it.
one song. You have to
Why do you
figure
hate it?
different songs that you pick throughout the week. That's how I do it.
So you hate all of them?
No. See, and that's why I disagree with you. It's because I still get along just fine with those songs.
There
How long have they
is-
been your ringtones?
Like
For your alarms.
years.
I'm going to send you guys this video that is my favorite wake up sound, I guess. I use it for my job all the time. Anytime somebody's like, hey, we have to be at this meeting at whatever time, or we need to be out in the street selling accounts by this point in time, I send this sound by Mark Rilibit, Rebillet. I don't know how to say his last name, but he does like improv music to like music that he makes on a huge soundboard. It's kind of like drum and bass, like techno. Like you would hear this music at a rave or something. He also does hip hop and all kinds of stuff like that. But this one is just him screaming for like the first few seconds. Oh, get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. I gotta send this to you guys, but it is my favorite. There.
I would say one song could be it's called Good, I think I mentioned this a few months ago, but Good Morning Sunshine by the Narcissist Cookbook. It's really good if you are going through a hard time, and it's a good wake up because if you don't want to get out of bed, it's a good song to get yourself out of bed for.
Mm.
And Hello Hurricane by Switchfoot. That one always kind of inspires me to wake up.
Yeah, I usually don't wake up to music. It just gets incorporated into my dreams.
That's what makes it fun, though. You got Inception style stuff going on.
I used to have, oh, what was that freaking song? It was like, it was not an appropriate song for the age in which I had it as my ringtone or my alarm. And my father, he heard it one day and he was like, change that right now. But I could not tell you what it was off the top of my head. But it was definitely like, I want to say it was like Shaggy or something.
Nice.
Yeah. So I had no business like
Oh.
having it. Or it was like Nickelback,
Oh, that's
like one of their
Two more
shrug
answers.
songs.
Anything by System of a Down would be fine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then anything by Rage Against the Machine.
I'm about to
But
say
like
anything like
mid song. You got to start in the middle of
Yeah.
that of Rage Against the Machine's music, not at the beginning,
I was thinking
because
like
it builds.
yeah. Well, I was thinking of something
Could
like
you just imagine waking up to that?
Dude.
F you, I won't do what you tell me.
I'm thinking of like immigrant song, like something like that, like really just like really pumps you up. Yes. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You cut your own sound. You went
Your
too
mic
high.
was like you were too loud.
I could hear it. That's all that matters to me.
We heard it like faintly. and just like
Just in the
saw your
distance.
face. Yeah, I don't have a recommendation. Don't set songs as your alarms.
No, you're no fun.
As a woman, waking up is perhaps the worst thing that could ever happen to me on this planet. And I have to go through it every single day.
This again.
Have you seen that thing where it's like at 3:00, girls are just like already taking a nap, like just out, gone, 3:00 every day on the dot. That time is EB sleepy time. I cannot. Yeah. Especially if you're on your period too, makes it worse.
I wish I could nap every day at 3:00.
Same.
I can't nap every day at 3:00. Weekends,
Me neither.
I do try to take a nap, but then I take a nap too long and then I can't sleep later in the day. That used to not happen. Am I getting old?
I feel so,
Yes.
I don't like to nap, not because I don't like the feeling of napping, but like I feel like I've wasted daylight hours, and it's just like the type A personality in me that just like no, I can't waste this precious time that I have to be awake and do something.
We are so not the same.
Not even a little bit.
I'd be like, put me to sleep right now. Knock me out.
If I could, I would.
Mhm.
Sometimes I get to, but
I think if I wake
Not
up
enough.
initially and I am enjoying the day, then I don't want to nap. But if I wake up and then I'm like, can't wait for a nap.
I also just
It's
can't
over.
remember the last time I've had a nap and woke up feeling like, you know what, I feel great now. Like I can't think of that.
always wake up.
That only happens to me now when I take like a 20-minute nap or a 30-minute nap. If I sleep any longer than that, my body's like, oh, we are never sleeping again. And we're going to wake up and we're going to hate ourselves. It's just so bad.
Yeah.
College, I think, is what screwed me up real bad. Because I was constantly napping
That'll do
whenever
it.
I got the chance. That'll do it. All right, guys. Final thoughts. Let's go ahead and wrap this up because I'm exhausted.
You kind of wrapped it up earlier, Harley. Like to like go out and like your recommendation to like go look in the next month and figure out some days to celebrate and
Yeah.
whatnot. I like that was a really solid point.
Thanks.
Just celebrate life,
Yeah. Even the little things.
especially the little things.
Coffee day, beer lovers. What was it called? Maybon?
Maybe
That sounds cute as shit. I
Yeah,
don't care
It
who
is.
you are.
I love it.
National Walleye. Come on, go watch some Steve Irwin out there. Go find some Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah. Maybe
know
we'll
what
make a
we
post
need?
for October.
You know what we
Here's
need?
our stuff.
National Alien Apology Day.
Oh, no, we don't. we
Jesus.
don't need it.
On that
We will.
note,
People are dying, Kim. Okay. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. In case you guys didn't know, I want to throw this in there because I don't think we threw it in there on the last pod. We might have, but I don't remember. Everything's a blur. Spotify has a feature where you can rate us. So please do give us a 5-star review. I think any, podcast platform, you can rate us. You can give us 5-star or 10-star if that's an option. 10 out of 10. Please don't give us
Whatever
lower.
the most is. If it's
Whatever-
7.3,
Yes.
Mostest. Put
the
it in.
the mosterest.
And if you don't like us, don't leave a review. Forget I said anything. Reviews. What are you talking
You can't
about?
do it. You can't do it.
We've actually taken that option away from you. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's very interesting episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us on all of our social media platforms at Always More Pod. Tim, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok at Timothy Lichty. That's Liechty.
Chris?
I'm on Instagram as Captain_CT Ford and TikTok as Christopher.Lionheart.
You can find me on Instagram at WhatHarley, WUT Harley, and on the Clock app at HarleyBean.co. Thank you guys so much again for listening and being a part of the conversation. And remember, there is always more than this.
Bye.
Bye.